Here we are at the Sydney Opera House, and I'm here with Bruce Barnett, one of the iconic and most popular tour guides here. Bruce, this is absolutely spectacular, but my first question is, sails or shells?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, I think it's both, because if you think of the architect, when he was brought up as a kid in Denmark, he used to go sailing with his father. And so he's got sails on yachts. Now that makes sense. And then there are shells on harbours. So when you look at this, they could be shells, they could be sails.
Yeah. From here, I count at least 3 structures. 1, 2, 3.
Correct. Yes. These are the most easterly, and these run south to north. And they're a smaller set than the biggest set. But they sit as a separate structure. Then in the middle over here, again, south to north, the biggest of the sails is up there. And inside there is the biggest theatre, the concert hall.
Okay.
Will be there shortly.
And then over here?
2 small ones over a restaurant called the Benelong, which get all sorts of awards. That's the posh place.
Shall we go inside now?
We should indeed go inside. Come.
You know, from here, you really get the sense that it is a building inside a building, that the sails or the shells are like a silo for what's housed inside.
Yeah, good term, actually, yeah. It's the same with both of the big theatres upstairs. When you've got the shells, you see these structures, and then inside, separate buildings.
Yeah.
And actually also separate architects.
Okay, so here we are.
Yes.
We're on the back end of the Opera House.
Kind of like we have 2 front ends in a way.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the back and the front. This front's out onto the harbour, of course, magnificent view of the harbour. This is where you come to have drinks during your little pre or post show. And on New Year's Eve, if you've got a lot of money,
well,
you
yeah,
can buy a table here, you can treat yourself and your friends, you can watch the fireworks on the harbour bridge and enjoy the most wonderful New Year's Eve party.
Okay, so this is the Joan Sutherland Theatre?
Correct.
So we're in one of the smaller sails, but this is equally impressive.
Oh, well, it's smaller, but not small.
Yeah.
Of our 6 performing spaces within the building, this is the second biggest, 1,507 seats, and it's for opera and ballet. And it's where we perform about 185 performances of opera every year and about 95 ballet and a musical every year. And right now, it's Evita.
Wow.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
This is the biggest theatre. This is the concert hall.
Oh my God. Well, if this is the building inside the building, it is one heck of a building.
Yeah. Notice that the ceiling, it's a little hard to tell, but the ceiling actually tucks inside rather than outside the walls.
Yeah.
It's like a little lid, but it's on the inside. That whole ceiling is timber, and it's the same timber as the seats. Really? It's a rainforest, Australian rainforest wood. It actually absorbs sound quite well.
There is a lot to look at here, but then in the distance I see that it looks like a solitary organ perched high atop everything. There's got to be a story behind that.
There is. This pipe organ was built here in Sydney. A man called Ronald Sharp and a team working with him constructed this over 10 years. One person plays it. There are 5 keyboards and more than 30 foot pedals.
Wow.
I think in Sydney there's only 3 people who can play it.
Bruce, this is one of the most famous stages in the world, so I have to assume it's attracted some of the biggest names in music.
Leonard Cohen was a huge star and performed here a lot. Katie Lang obviously performed on the stage too. Diana Krall has performed on the stage. Nelson Mandela gave a speech in here. So it's that kind of place that will draw a lot of the stars to it for obvious reasons.
Thank you for welcoming us inside.
Oh, Ben, my pleasure.